GM Adrian. I am
Good
a
morning.
little discombobulated today. I think it's starting to get to me.
It's only day 3. We're talking about Crypto the Game.
I'm talking about Crypto the Game. I just realized I have no lipstick on. I'm really off today. A little off. But I'm excited. It's day 3. And we have a guest coming in just a little bit. So this is going to be a really fun show. We're going to start with Crypto the Game, and then we'll move into Farcaster News, and then we have an interview. So it's going to be really fun. So if you're watching this on Twitter or YouTube, or cast it, tweet it, retweet it, and we'll be back in approximately 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, March 12th, and you are here with Nanish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster News, plus an interview today, plus a lot of chat at the beginning about Crypto the Game. But also, check out my background.
I really hope you have a second background that you can cycle to, so I don't crack up looking at your
I feel like we should explain the background before I go any further because it's just freaking hilarious. Okay. So Brian Johnson tweets this picture, and people start memeing it and saying they're going to buy the outfit and all this, but then Moon Poppy actually buys the outfit. What the hell?
Do we know he didn't have the outfit?
I don't know. He might have. I have no idea. It's possible.
If you've met Moon Poppy,
he could have. You're right. He probably did. Yeah. So then I had to throw a poll up. Who wore it best? And it was,
the easiest poll I've ever participated in. Social prediction.
Easiest social prediction ever. He won it by 79 to 20, which is, 81 to 21. I mean, Brian J came in there. But that was an easy win. Easy win. We love Ponder. Yes, love Ponder. So funny. This just cracked me up. So that's my background, just to explain what the heck is going on there. And yes, I do have another one that I can cycle to.
No, you can keep it. I kind of love
it.
Poppy looking over your shoulder.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I love it. I'll leave it for a little bit longer anyway. Actually, I will switch it out because we have to talk about Crypto the Game.
Wait, I have questions. Yes, to crypto claims he made $7. Can you set can you bet a different amount?
I don't know if you can bet a different amount.
I thought it was
oh yeah, you can. You can. Oh. It's it starts at 50 cents and then you can scale it up.
Okay.
So you get a larger percentage, I think.
I'm such an amateur.
I am as well.
Because I too could have made $7 if I had known.
This was easy. It's almost easy.
Instead, I think I made
I actually spent I think 20 or 30. I don't even remember what I set it at, but I spent money to do this. So there you go. Just for I will go far for the meme. It's no question. And that was just way too funny. Had to do it. So thank you, Moon Poppy, for the lulz. We appreciate you. Okay.
Can we get him to wear that to FarCon?
Oh, yes. Bounty.
By the way, I had lunch with someone.
Bounty.
There are not enough bounties for outfits. I had lunch with someone yesterday who didn't know who Brian Johnson was, so I was just explaining the whole don't die phenomenon. So there's people who don't know.
There's people who don't know. It's kind of funny. You don't even. I know. I was talking to. I think it was my brother, who's very like into like health and wellness. It was just surprising to me that he hadn't heard of that. But yeah, there's a lot of people. Even with there was a whole documentary that you can go watch. I think it's on HBO. Or Max or whatever. Yeah. Or is it Netflix? I forgot, but I watched it and it was really interesting.
Excellent.
And it definitely gave me a different like perspective of him. So, little less crazy than I originally thought. So.
Oh, no.
Little less. I said little less. I really thought he was crazy. And I was like, okay.
He is crazy. Crazy. Yeah. And I think he's doing a service to humanity. So thank you, Brian
I do too. Yeah, you don't have to do what he does, but you can learn from it anyway. There's lessons to be learned. Yeah, I should probably recast your cast. All right. Moving on. We have news, and we have to talk about Crypto the Game because we're both playing now. If you recall on Monday, you heard Adrian say she would not be playing. Spoiler alert, she's playing. Narrator. And then she chose to play. So how's it going for you? You're on the Blue Tribe. How's the Blue Tribe doing?
Vibes on the Blue Tribe are immaculate.
Really?
Love Blue Tribe. There are a lot of Farcaster people.
Oh, okay.
So it feels friendly and comfortable in my little corner of my tribe. My tribe within a tribe.
Interesting. We heard some drama that there was some little blue yellow drama. I don't know, but might have been a rumor.
Although it also sounds manufactured. I have Natasha and Dina in blue, so we are stacked on live stream podcasters.
I am over on the Orange Tribe. I am the only live stream podcaster.
There was talk about like what's our voting strategy, and I did suggest you should not vote off the live stream. Anyone with a live stream podcast, because you can use us, and I don't know how, but there's a way.
There's a way. There's value there.
Highly organized. So it's a
same.
Yes, Blue Tribe is organized.
Shockingly organized. Yeah. Same thing with
It's
Orange.
Only been 2 days. It's only been 2 days. Yeah.
So same thing with Orange, like incredibly organized. And I'm like, wow, these people are on it. We have like quite a few people who've played before. So they've just, they had a spreadsheet within 10 minutes. They were like rolling. Yeah, I mean, it's like very organized. I'm shocked. We came in second, apparently, yesterday in the challenge. We missed I think we were 10 minutes behind Pink or something. So, but I couldn't believe how quickly they got it. They got it so fast. I was in the chat and I'm going, wait, what? Where are you? What? It was like, because they kept jumping like, oh, this isn't working. Go to this. And it was just incredibly quick. So
and we also got it fast. Yeah. So the question is there cross-tribe intel? As one tribe is solving puzzles, like it just
possibly. I don't think so. Right? I don't think so from what I saw. Like, I don't think our tribe had outside intel from what I saw.
Good puzzle solvers.
Yeah, because just the way they were breaking it down, I didn't see anything that looked out of the blue. And it was definitely nothing obvious. If anyone did get outside intel, they kept it really down low because I didn't. It did not appear that way. It appeared like oh my God, these people are smart. Right. Like they just
a good little spy they are. I mean,
they could be a really good spy. It's possible, but it didn't feel that way while I was living it. It just felt like, wow, these people are good. Because it moved very logically. Nothing came out of the blue. And I'm pretty sure we were second. So that's the other thing. Like we were pretty close to when the first tribe got it. So that's why I don't think so, but I'm sure other tribes absolutely. Because I think everyone missed the part where it was only one tribe was going to get immunity. So I feel like we thought we all had to solve it. It was not the case. So Pink won immunity. Congratulations, Pink. Here's what it was, by the way. This was the challenge. So we logged in at noon. There was a little delay. This pops up. And immediately I was like, Twitter ID. It's got to be a Twitter ID. A lot of people are like, Twitter ID. Okay, let's figure out. And there was a few red herrings. Other people went in other directions. It was like, pretty sure it's a Twitter ID. And we all went down that rabbit hole, found the account. There's an account that helped you unlock it from there. There was this puzzle. People started analyzing this banner. So it went to that next. And I was throwing that image into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was like giving me a whole bunch of things. It did get into the tetragrams. It figured that was one option, but it also went down this road of like Morse code. So some people were going Morse code, some people were going, there was one other thing. So there was like all these different possibilities, but this led to a seed phrase. So the seed phrase was found, then the account was found, then the ENS was found, and it was a Unicode notation. So the person who came up with it in our tribe was Martin. And I was like, that makes perfect sense, because if you don't know, Noggles and the higher arrow that you see will come from Unicode. So it's like people who are familiar with Unicode might have clicked for them. But if you weren't, and it didn't even occur to me. Like, this is the part that like didn't occur to me. And then they find this symbol. The symbol is for resurrection. And then if you put that in, it showed you that you got it. So Pink Tribe solved it first. They won immunity. So congratulations, Pink Tribe. Unichain really likes the Pink Tribe. And here's what I thought was interesting. I don't know if you caught this, but Winnie asked, how do you come up with these puzzles? How did you come up with this puzzle? And Dylan said, with a lot of help from Shloms.
Oh, that tracks.
Yeah, doesn't it? Like when I heard, I was like, oh. So for those not familiar, Shloms is the one who likes to try and break Warpcast, or he did early on purpose. Like, yeah, purposefully. Go look at his account. I think it's still messed up on purpose. But I thought that was really interesting. There's one more other interesting thing. Do you see this right here? We're playing games today. Are we playing Farcade is the question.
Okay, see you all tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern for the next immunity challenge, followed by a joystick, which could just be you're playing a game.
We're playing a game.
It's hard to not see the joystick and immediately go Farcade.
We immediately thought Farcade. Immediately, I was like, Farcade, but probably not. It's probably just a video game built into the website, is my guess. And they've done that before. Like, that was a lot of the challenges last time. So that's my guess. But wouldn't it be fun if it was Farcade? We'd have a little advantage, as long as it's not Black Hole. I love my tribe. That's us. We're very happy. The Orange Tribe. So great tribe. I'm very happy with my tribe. I don't really know many people, but I'm getting to know them. So Martin's on my tribe. CJ's on my tribe. So there's a couple of people I know, a couple others from Farcaster, but mostly it's new people. But it's been fun. They're all good vibes. And I love this from Erica. POV, you survived night 2 of Crypto the Game. The clouds have just broken to let the sun through. After a cold, rainy day, you find the last hard cider in the special garage beverage fridge that's colder than the house fridge. You crack it open and hear the slight fizz of release. You take the first ice cold sip and sigh, content to have survived, blessed to have received another day on the island. Just what a lovely sentiment. So there you go. Also, what happened was it was also Resurrection Island. So the first player who was out in the first vote, the first player in this challenge who individually got it, was let back in, and it was Matthew. So this is really funny from Alina, just for shits and giggles, because we're all homies. Aqua Tribe, throwing Matthew out the door, and then Matthew coming back behind him, the Simpsons meme, which I thought was really funny. So very well done.
I'm glad to see Matthew back.
I am too. And Chompix is back. He's doing some homework as well, but he's still in it. And he survived another day, and he'll be streaming. And if it's a gaming day, it'll be fun to watch him stream the game. So go check him out if you're not following him. Also, we mentioned at the top, Boys Club is doing their thing every night at 9 p.m. and I am tuning in live. It's really fun. So if you want to catch up on what's happening with Crypto the Game, do that. But also, there's a tip line. So if you have a tip that you want to submit anonymously, there you go. If you have a tip about Crypto the Game. All right. Anything else? How you ready for today?
Just like Cast Out, it can be all consuming.
I
feel bad for people that are not in a friendly time zone.
Yeah. There's people that are up and it's like they're setting alarms to wake up at 2 a.m. to vote.
So I'm thankful that I don't have to do that.
Same.
It's you really got to commit if you want to. I mean, you can kind of coast in for a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. If you're participating and you're helping early on, like we just voted out people who weren't there. They weren't showing up. They weren't active. They were selling tokens, whatever. They weren't really playing.
Easy. It's still easy.
Yeah,
now
it's easy
to
votes right now.
Vote out. It gets harder.
Yeah.
And the Cast Out experience, I think, was helpful. Learned a lot with so thank you for that. And it's just fun.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. I'm having a blast. And I mean, there's some new folks I haven't met before and it's fun. So having a good time. Enjoy it. And because, the rest of the world is going to hell, so we might as well have fun. Might as well have fun. All right, moving on. There's some other things happening on the timeline besides Cast Out, I swear. But I do think it's funny, going back to this for really quick. I do think it's funny that I don't have it actually here, but I'm just going to put this up for a second. That Oxen was like, everyone's going to disappear during Cast Out. I mean, during Crypto the Game, because that's what's happened the past couple times, because it was mostly on Twitter and not this time. And I said, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of people playing this time who are on Farcaster, and they're going to be, this is where they primarily post. So you're going to see a lot of it. And that's what's happened. So that's kind of fun to see the shift where it's not all about crypto Twitter this time. So like it. I'm having fun. All right. Moving on.
Farcaster news.
Farcaster news. Blockheim, question for y'all. How do you discover new frames? Is this working? What would you change? What makes you engage with it or at it? As always, any and all feedback is welcome. Just comment below. So if you have a comment here, go add it in. Throw your comment in here and say how you discover frames. How do you discover frames, Adrian?
Literally people sharing them on the feed.
Yeah.
Is the only way. So if I see someone share a frame, I'll be like, oh,
that's interesting.
There's a frame.
Yep. That's same for me. Occasionally I'll flip through the frame explore. I haven't done that in a while, but early on I was doing that. And occasionally if I'll see some, like these are all going to be my pinned ones, but occasionally I'll go flip through and just see if there's anything interesting. But 99% of the time somebody shared it and it was in my feed. So in other words, if you're creating frames, share them in your feed. And if they're really fun,
and get your friends to
share them with us. Yeah. This from Horse Facts. Only frame builders read this. People are literally asking you on the timeline multiple times a day for ways to spend their money. I want to spend this $25. This is in response to Emma. I want to spend this $25 on Farcaster eco products, coins, etc. How should I spend it? So if you want to give recommendations to Emma how she should spend her money, there you go.
Did we invite you to our hyper sub? We should.
We should. We haven't.
That's a good way to spend on-chain funds.
It is. That's a great point. It's been, because I have done the same. Like I haven't offloaded my rewards. They're just in my Warplet, and I've used the Morpho frame to get yield on some USDC. I've thrown it into various meme coins. Pick a meme coin, I've thrown some in. I'm kind of just holding some right now, waiting for like the next meme coin or the next thing that I want to buy. I've spent some on balloons in Balloon Pop, which I would have spent more, by the way. I would have absolutely spent more. Yeah. So all those fun things I've been spending on. So yeah. Like if you're, and I think there was a cast from Dan a couple weeks ago Tuesday 1 p.m. is a good time to launch something. So, because people have money to spend. So we've got a little economy going. It's kind of fun. This economy is actually on the way up as opposed to other economies at the moment. This from Robin. Glad to hear our frame template has been useful for balloon pop. I just pushed some improvements to the repo. If you're new to frames and need a sounding board, I'm happy to help. So that was cool. I didn't know this. This is in response to OK, who created balloon pop, saying a special thanks to Robin for open sourcing Frame Wizard, which really helped with producing the share image. So there you go. Check that out. And speaking of people just handing out money, you want to talk about this? What happened
here? Okay, so last week, Shane Mack casted. They wanted to give away $2,500 in honor of International Women's Day. So he did a little engagement farming, wink, to ask people to nominate women or people for it. I did link. There's a link. I wrote a blog post about this, so I linked. You should read the whole people talking about the women that have lifted them up and supported them. It's a really nice cast. So kudos. Ivy nominated me, which I'm humbled. Thank you, Ivy.
Ivy.
And I guess the women at XMTP read the stories and chose me. So I just found $2,500 in my wallet, in my Warplet.
In your Warplet.
Yeah.
Just showed up.
It just showed up. So, so thank you for that, guys. And I was trying to figure out what to do with the funds. Besides pocket it, besides take it and run. And I'd love to figure out. So I came up with 5 different potential ideas for what to do with it and kind of how to reinvest and amplify more women. I wrote a blog, so would love people's feedback on ideas, or if you have other ideas.
So jump in here and read the paragraph post and see what you think. Love it. This is so fun to see.
I was thinking of either FarCon travel scholarships for women.
Ooh.
Just charity donations decided by a community. Brad, I really like Brad's story about his mom. It was really touching.
Yeah.
So then I had an idea of actually giving it to Brad to fund his mom, but then getting Brad, who's been doing all this great kind of curation and Farcaster work, to help us with a newsletter. So kind of the other thought was, do we just fund GM Farcaster? Because I think women are so easy to the initial thing is just give. And that was my initial thought, but does it help us do things? So I honestly don't know. So it's sitting there and I'm curious for ideas because.
So throw your comments on there. What do you think? Yeah, I know it's nice. It does feel like sometimes found money should be put to work. You know what I mean? Rather than let me go buy a new pair of shoes, something. You know what I mean? It should be I don't know. That's kind of how I think. It's let me put it to work somehow.
Shoes is not that's the thing is who wants shoes?
Well, while you're holding it, throw it in the morpho frame and start earning some yield.
Oh, maybe I should do that. This is actually
finally buy eggs. You might have enough. I don't know if it's enough, Naomi. I'm not sure. May not be enough.
And this is it. Yeah, this is a great idea. I will do that. So I'll morpho it up, earn yield, and then we'll figure it out.
Right in your wallet, right in your Warplet. Yeah, there you go.
And
but it's really nice. Yeah, that was very, very nice.
And yes, you can be the anti-airdrop lady. I'll take that.
Yeah, right. The anti-airdrop lady gets random airdrops.
But I also wrote a little. I really am not loving the complete anti-DEI meta. Mm-hmm. It's just So it was a nice recommitment. I like just thinking about. I've been a long time supporter of women, and
as a woman myself.
As a woman.
A long-time supporter of women.
You may look at me and see me as a womb, but I'm so much more.
I'm so much more than that. I loved this. I thought it was great. It was so nice to see, and it sort of came out of nowhere, and it was really great to see that happen. I do see our guest popping in, so we're gonna run through a few more news things and then jump into it. We need to get Ben Ursing on here to explain this more, but I'm going to share this. Excited to share something that's been in the works for a while. Farcaster has long needed a native investment group. Now it's here. Meet Crossroads, the Farcaster native angel group, investing in and amplifying the next generation of founders. Apply to join or seek funding at crossroads.sourcebook.app. Follow Crossroads at /Crossroads for updates and opportunities to get involved. So this is something Adrian and I have been a part of during this sort of beta phase where like I'm basically just we've been amplifying some of the Farcaster businesses that are being built and being invested in. And Adrian's actually been diving in a little bit more into that. So anything else you want to, I think we need to just get Ben on here and do like a whole thing about this. Yeah.
And all I'd love to say is this is kind of like his public announcement of this thing that we've been slowly working on. But this goes back to like early, like probably 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, when we're like, oh, there's a lot of people building on Farcaster. There's an opportunity to
invest in them,
probably for angel investing and so it's just you can't rush things. So I you know, it's like and you can't necessarily put capital work all right away. So this has kind of been slow going, but consistently and building. And there's a great group of people and kind of this initial Crossroads community. So it is. I'm excited about it, and we should get Ben on.
Yeah, for sure. So if you have any interest in this, either as an investor or as a founder, go check this out. Or everyone should just go check it out because it's really interesting. Do you want to shout this out? There is a new farcon.nyc site and links. This cracked me up. Look, there's even a little Jeff Goldberg at the bottom watching from afar. They thought of literally everything. That was funny. But this is very cool. Very cool new design for the Farcon site. Go check that out. More coming on that soon. Gotta talk about the rewards leaderboard results for this week. Welcome to the Journo Cabal. There are thoughts on this. Brad continues. We say it with love. It gets harder as you go. Kaufman and Wargas finished one. Warkas finished 1 and 4. Li Fang number 7. You may be surprised that the Cabal got infiltrated pretty well by Erica number 2 with her fire fits and her own purple vibe. Estes number 3, Farcon and Vibe Life. Triumph number 6, also part of Vibe Tribe, killing it. Garrett is becoming a top 10 regular, number 9. Jihad likewise, number 10. Ryan Grimm made a late surge to number 8, cashing 300 on his first days trying to defeat crypto. Very funny as heck.
Okay, yeah, we didn't talk about Ryan Grimm, but hilarious.
Hilarious. He like his first cast is I'm here to like basically find ways to destroy you. It's like, and we're like,
well done.
Welcome. How can we help?
Here, would you like money?
And here's some money on top of it.
Let's be friends.
Like, seriously. So I mean, I was in there helping, like, hey, ask the bot. You know, like, it just is really kind of funny. He's like, I hate crypto. And we're like, welcome. Let's give you a hug. Down leaderboard, Rabinowitz took number 30 and became a villain, edging out Mamops Bert 31. Ooh, Shadows took number 69. I was like somewhere around 50-ish. So I knew there was no way I was getting to 30 or 69. Watch for more first timers and encourage them when you have a chance. So this was really fun to see. A lot of first timers in there. Always fun to see. It does get harder, people. So let's celebrate first time rewards, our new tier. We got a bunch. Who else? Add yourself in the comments. So we had some first ones in there, grinding and got there, including Smash Thunderston, Flexosaurus Rex, and MFR1s. Gatry with the seat, and that was from the Crypto the Game frame. Made it in there with great frame. And Six Bazinga and Spy, Six Bazinga with the Degena ladies, and new to FC, CJ Web 3, Li Fang, and Marins. So very cool. This was from Triumph. Very warm and welcoming GM to all notable CT accounts wandering over here while I'm holding down top 10 in the leaderboard. It's like, okay, we see you. Be careful there with Triumph. That was really funny. This from Yester Crypto. After a long, thought-out deliberation, vast quantities of prayer and meditation, and looking at the Warpcast Rewards leaderboard, I have decided to change careers and become a journalist on Farcaster. So there you go. Many such cases. I have to just show this because freaking adorable. Took my first ride in my new car seat this morning, purchased with some of my rewards. I love this. Like, this is what Bert is buying with his rewards. I just love Bert. I just
Bert is
love
so cute.
freaking Bert. Also, Bert is playing Crypto the Game. To those who didn't know, dogs are allowed. Silver Tribe. So this was really funny. Another week, another Warpcast reward cycle, leaving me internet money number points in my Warplet, which I have little to no idea what to do with. Yes, I've accepted Warplet. So this week, I'm introducing Bert the Game. If you enjoyed Crypto the Game, you'll love Bert the Game, a fun new challenge game with probably more chaos and bugs, but less insane and a much smaller prize pool. No insane, just less. Here's how it works. I'll drop a challenge whenever I feel like it. There will probably be 5. 24 hours to complete the challenge. Winners will be announced at some point after that. First person to DC me with the correct answer gets my eternal friendship and $10 USDC. First through 5th to complete the challenge will get a head start on the next challenge. To play, you must follow me, like and engage with the clue post. By the way, I learned about influencers the other day. First challenge dropping tomorrow morning. Good luck. Good luck, strays. Sponsored by Bert Worston Associates. The law office is up.
Bert is speed running social media influencing and crypto, and you're only 3 months old?
It's
and
amazing.
You're a dog?
And you're a dog. And also you're a dog. It's impressive. And Mookie, what are you doing over there? Sitting by the door, chilling, doing nothing.
Waiting for
earning no money.
Doing no nothing. Money.
Doing nothing. My dog is doing nothing to earn for his supper. It's ridiculous. Get to work over there. Okay, a couple of quick things. This from Erica. Casually missed my 1-year anniversary building unofficial with Christopher. Happy founderversary to me. So, and just want a really quick shout out. Congratulations. And if you're not using Uno yet, you really should. Very cool. And love what they're building. This from Alina Ferry. Guys, I'm a happy girl tonight. Alex and the whole Clanker team are the heroes we don't deserve. 1 ETH just dropped on our end, and we'll be able to afford about 10 more scholarships. This is amazing. I think now it's probably the good time to reveal that we are also getting the amazing matches by DWR and Grin. The journey is not over, though. We can totally collect more in the upcoming week to offer more stipends. Love and eternal gratitude to everyone who has donated to our fundraiser so far. And this was Alex on here. Jack and I have spent, this is from Proxy Studio. Jack and I have spent time chatting with the team, and we are all aligned on the importance of stepping up to support our ecosystem, which has given us so much and continues to back our work to this day. Small first step, funded Alina Ferry's fundraiser with 1 ETH to enable creators and artists to attend FarCon in NYC this year. If you are able, please join us in supporting by minting via frame below. So very cool. I had minted way back when. So great to see. And just, I love the Clanker team. Love them, love them, love them, love them, love them so much. Don't know where my hat is, but it's over here somewhere. But just love the team. They're amazing. And loved seeing the only coin that is running right now is the Banker Clanker called DRB. So it's great to see all these things happening from the Farcaster ecosystem now, really taking off on Twitter and all that. And it just makes me happy. Makes me happy. So that's why I buy clankers. And frankly, this semester we're going to be launching a clanker with my class, and I'm very excited. So I had class last night for the first time. And they're fully confused, and it's yeah, you're perfect. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's literally what happens when I teach the first class. I'm you guys are going to be really confused by the end of this one, and it's fine. And you're perfect where you are. Don't worry about it. And honestly, all we do is touch Bitcoin. All we did was talk about Bitcoin,
the least,
and get a wallet set up.
Bitcoin is the least confusing, I think, maybe. Yeah. But also make sure you tell them that feeling of confusion is totally normal. get used to it and enjoy it, because like they won't be confused about Bitcoin in a few more sessions, but there's going to be something else they're going to see in life that's going to confuse them, and don't run from that.
100%. I'm just flipping through to make sure I didn't miss anything big. There's a few things that are going to end up in our didn't get to, but this was me yesterday, back to school. And it was fun. It's 8-week class this time. So we're flying through it. They have to do a lot of work, beyond class, hopefully, if they really want to get it. And there'll be those who are really into it and they'll, dive in, and there'll be the others who just are taking it because they thought it was going to be an easy elective and are about to be very shocked that maybe not. Oh. So I'll be chatting about this as we go along. And anything else really quick that I may have missed that's vital before we bring up our guest?
No, but I just noticed while our guest has been waiting in the wings, he just deployed 3 new frames.
Shut up.
No, I'm just kidding.
I thought you were completely serious.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, maybe he did. Maybe he did, but
I was like, that would not surprise me at all. All right. Well, let's bring up jc4p. And is it Kasra? Kasra. Welcome. I didn't want to keep calling you jc4p.
So. No worries. Yeah.
But first, can we start there? What does that mean?
Oh my goodness, that is such an embarrassing question to start with. It's my initial Gmail that I made when I was, I think, 12.
I love it.
And it's actually kind of held up well. It could have been a lot worse. It stands for John Cena for President. Yeah.
That's funny.
There's a lot that could have gone wrong, but he's still a good pop culture thing, and he does a lot of I think he has the most Make-A-Wish things of any human being and stuff. So
ever, yeah.
It really worked out. It could have been any other wrestler, and it could have been a lot worse. But I picked
The Rock. The Rock would have held up. I think either one of those you were safe with.
Yeah.
Anybody else, not.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's just been what I've been using because it's a short username and I get to take it on each site.
Oh, that's fun. I never in a million years would have guessed that. No way. That's hilarious.
Yeah, John Cena for President at gmail.com was my first Gmail.
Oh my God. I love that. That's
and people
so
spam
funny.
you now? Did you just
I haven't checked it in forever. I haven't checked it in like a decade. So
you might want to check and just be like, you never know. He might be running soon.
Yeah,
that would be funny. You're going to be all set up if he ever decides to run. It's more likely The Rock will run, but you never know.
Yeah.
So that's so funny.
Well, Linda McMahon's the head of the Department of Education, so it's all happening.
It's all happening. What timeline are we in? It is all happening. Amazing. So, been loving watching your journey. Adrian, where do you want to start? Where do we start?
Well,
this has been so fun.
Yeah, let's just start with intro. So Keckers is a Farcaster OG. Everybody loves and knows Keckers, universally loved. How and then she brought you on, and you literally just exploded with frames. And no, I just love to hear kind of how you found Farcaster.
So it's actually funny. Yeah, I've known Keckers for a very long time on Twitter. Because we have a lot of shared mutual friends, in different mutual friends groups. Her best friend in Austin is someone I've been friends with since 2012. And I met her for the first time when she was in LA for FarCon last year.
Oh.
And then we were having lunch and she was telling me about it. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. She's like, no, you don't get it. I'm making money. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And then a year later, we were working on a project together and she was like, this will need a frame integration in it. And I was like, all right, can you finally invite me to Farcaster so I can see what frames are? And then I kind of fell in love with it. Yeah.
That's so cool. So you have dev background. Do you have a crypto background?
No, in 2020 during COVID and stuff, I got really into Solidity. I really like new programming languages. So I tried out all the Solidity stuff. One of my best friends, who is a mutual friend with Keckers, runs Stacks, which is a Bitcoin L2. So I have always been involved in that community. I really like it, but my mindset on it is my uncle asked me 10 years ago if he should buy Bitcoin, and I told him no. And then he's been giving me shit about how bad of a decision that was. So I've just been like, I'm not going to touch that, but a 10-foot pole. Yeah. But I really like the programming aspect of it and smart contracts and all of that.
So funny.
So when I say,
I love that.
Notice, when I say crypto, inclusive of all the
blockchain,
cryptography, I should say, not necessarily cryptocurrencies. And
that was part of what I was talking about last night. I was getting into like the computer versus the casino and talking about like there's technology here that goes way beyond just the coins. And it's fun to see people who are coming for that. That's really fun.
Yeah, it's real fun. One of Kicker's and I's mutual friends in Austin, her best friend she used to be a core Bitcoin programmer. And she got into it because I remember when she got into it, she was like, wow, the curves and the epileptic curves are so fun. And then I was like, yeah, they are fun. And then she now does Bitcoin training events and everything. Yeah.
By the way, jc4p, you might want to check your email, your Gmail.
If
I know the password. Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I love this.
That's so cool that you learned Solidity. Do you like Solidity?
I love Solidity. It's really fun. There's been a lot of upgrades in the last 5 years. The last time I was using it was during COVID, and now I get to use Foundry and Forge and stuff, and it's really fun. And I just love the idea of immutable contracts, because you have to think about every single thing you're doing and make sure that you think about every possible way that someone could attack it. And yeah, it's really fun.
I just have to interrupt this conversation to just say that Super Tight Woody is in the audience today. Oh. And for those who don't know, he is the musical creator of our theme song. So when you hear that at the beginning and the end, that's who created it. So welcome, Woody. Sorry. And back to you. Back to you, Adrian. I just happened to notice that. Very cool.
All right. So
frames.
How many frames have you built?
At least a dozen. I could check Vercel and see how many I've deployed, but I think somewhere between 10 and 12. The majority of them were collaborations with Keckers, and a lot of them I just did on my own just because I wanted to get some stuff out of the door. Yeah.
Loved this. This is super helpful. jc4p's far tree, like Farlink, like tree, or
tree link.
That is.
Tree
link.
Link
tree. Jeez, why am I having issues? But I love this. So this is great to like see all your info and then all your links here too. So very cool little frame that would be helpful to many people. So
yeah, it's open source. It's on Replit, and then the really nice thing is because it's a static website, it's free on Replit, so you don't have to pay anything to launch it. So anyone could sign up, they could update the code, they could make their own, and there's no money involved. All you have to do is update the images and the text.
Very cool. Very, very cool. What has been your favorite frame so far that you've created?
Oh,
I may have to hunt one. I have to go hunt them down now.
Cast and Cocktails. I was really surprised by how much people liked it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like, it was on my end. It took like 3 hours to do my work, and then Keckers did like a day of work on making it pretty and adding the design and stuff. But I would just like things that are really simple to me. I'm really amazed when people like them, and then the things that are really complicated, and I spend a lot of time working on making a 3D game, like 10 people play them. So it's always the things that like come naturally that get a lot of attention. I think is really good. It was also right at the right time of the zeitgeist because everyone was talking about cocktails at that time, so we timed it well.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. There was this like conversation that was happening. Did that spur that on, or was it independent? It just
no, I text Keckers ideas for frames every hour or so. And then one of them that was like, what about a frame for what cocktail are you? And she was like, yeah, that's timely. Let's do it. And we were like, all right, let's do it. And then the more we did it, the more involved it ended up becoming, and embeddings got added into the mixture. And
yeah, this was very cool. I had to scroll to find it because you have too many frames. So this is what we need in your far tree is like all links to your frames.
Links to all the frames. That's a great idea. I can definitely add that. Yeah,
that would make it like nice and easy to find the ones that are yours. But this is really cool. So you got your personal cocktail menu based on your casts. So it's so cute. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, the first version of it was a black screen with white text on it, and then Keckers was like, please wait until we can make it pretty. And I was like, all right, and it worked out really well.
It's really cute. And I love the idea. I think these are like fun little engagement moments for people, like all these different things. It's just, it's BuzzFeed quizzes. It's that kind of vibe, but it's pulling in. So is it AI that's sort of analyzing your casts, or how is it working?
It's different for each one.
Okay.
So
can you talk about the cocktails one to give us an example and like,
The cocktails one basically works on, I made a data set of 1,000 cocktails that were a mixture of old and a mixture of like hip new ones. I used Perplexity's API to get that information. Cool. And then I had descriptions of them, the ingredients list, some reviews on them, and I ran all of those through an embeddings model to put them in a vector matrix of like 368 dimensions. And then what happens after that is it grabs your last 300 casts using the Naynar API. It calculates the embeddings on your casts, and then it does a cross product between those embeddings and the ones from the cocktails. So it's actually it's a little bit more involved than the other ones. A lot of the other ones are just send your cast to AI and ask it how to rate it. But in this one, it's how we got the percentage ratings and stuff, is because we were to actually make math involved in it and then figure out what likelihood are you of being this cocktail versus this cocktail.
Oh, wow. This is way more complex than I realized.
It was really fun.
My mind is blown.
Like, making the data set alone was really fun.
How long did it take you to do that? This one was like did you say this one was 3 hours?
3 or 4 hours, yeah.
Wow.
But I had a lot of code for a lot of the stuff already.
Okay. But that seems really fast.
Yeah.
Adrian. Do better. Do better with your bot.
I can't. I'm struggling over here.
No, it's everything builds on top of everything else. So like every time I do something, like I use 90% of the code from the last project to work on it, and I add like one other thing into it. And
I love hearing this because it's like you see the cocktails, it's so simple on the front end. It's like, oh, sure. And I love how you have to do all the math in the background because
it's really fun. It's really, really, really fun.
This one was fun too. I was looking for the Enneagram one. This popped off, and this is like a more like the cocktails one was a little different. Like I haven't really seen much of that. It felt a little more unique. This one we see everywhere, and it's something people really like to like, analyze themselves, and because we're interested in ourselves most of the time, but also find, who else is like me and that kind of thing. So I felt like this one was really, really fun. Was this using like the traditional Enneagram data and then comparing it with your casts, or?
This one was a little simpler. This one, well, first I should say like this and the 4 temperaments and stuff. I just love anything telling me what I'm like because I have no idea what I'm like. And then someone makes an assumption on me and I can be like, oh, I agree with this or I don't agree with this. So I really like that aspect of the personality quizzes. And this one, because Enneagram is a concept that's existed for a long time and the LLMs are aware of it, all I did was take your last 500 casts and send it to Gemini for this one because it's the fastest and say, hey, based on these, what Enneagram type do you think this person would be? And it had all of the other information. It wasn't like the cocktails one where I had to actually give it the list of the cocktails or the ingredients or anything. I just relied on the training of the LLM to assume that it would know what it is.
Yeah, that's very cool. And it was really fun. I thought it was super accurate, at least for me and a lot of people I saw. So
what I really liked about this one specifically was that like I myself am a type 2 to help her, but when you're doing the actual test, you're thinking about your own personality, you're thinking about stuff. And when it's about your public posts, it's slightly different. And it was really cool just to see that like the majority of people on Farcaster are enthusiastic and excited and stuff. Like it really goes to show the community, and I really love that part of it.
I think for me, it was like, okay, so if you're taking a quiz like this and you're answering, you may or may not be giving an authentic answer. Like you may be, so where it's analyzing your cat, and this can be, this can go the other way too.
Yeah, your cast may not be so authentic.
Your cat may not be authentic, but if these things match and it seems like it makes sense to you, then it's like you might be a little bit more authentic. You were probably more authentic online than you realize. And for me, it was like, oh, that nailed me completely. So there was lots of things like that when I was doing these little quizzes. I'm like, okay, so I guess my casts are reflective of me, but also there's going to be parts of my life that you're not going to see anything about on social media, just because I don't share a lot about the mom side of me and just because I don't. But there's like most of what my personality you see, it's who I am.
Yeah, I also really like it because the view I have of myself in my head is of like a depressed 21-year-old. And then I like read the stuff and it's like, he's really excited. He really likes helping people. And I'm like, oh, I've made a lot of progress. Like, yeah, I love that aspect.
You're not who you were at 21. Who knew?
Yeah, exactly. Who knew?
Who knew? Of course not. Yeah, I love this. And then this one, I'm trying to like see, you have so many in here. Do you have a favorite frame that you've created?
The 4 temperaments one went way, the one that's like, are you caloric or sanguine and stuff,
Oh,
went
right.
way
Yes.
harder than I thought it was gonna. I thought maybe like 5 people would think that's interesting. And then
can't
people
find
were
that one
starting going
either.
because it's a debunked theory from like 500 BC. Like when germ theory came out, they stopped relying on it. So I
Oh,
really didn't
wow.
expect
I can't find it.
like smart community of Farcaster to be really into it, but I guess people really do like anything that makes assumptions about them or tries to explain how they are. Or yeah,
I think that's just human nature.
yeah,
It's very much human nature. And we also like to figure out other people.
yeah. And
So
being
when
able to
people are
compare is really
sharing their
nice.
things, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and
It's
that one was really good because that was the first one where I actually learned how to do custom share images. For Castle Cocktails, we just had a static share image, and we did like a second image, and then the Farcaster team helped us figure out how to actually do dynamic share images, which now I'm helping a bunch of other people do. So that was really useful.
What's a what does that mean? Like a dynamic share
When you
image?
share the frame, the embedded of the frame having like jc4p is a sanguine and so on, instead of just being like, check out this frame.
Gotcha. So I made a stupid frame in a few hours, vibe coding. Like pure LLM, had no idea what I was doing. But but my GPT or like Copilot had me make a custom image, and I was like, oh, SVG, like it creates an SVG on the fly.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So,
Yeah, it's really cool. But there was a lot of there are a lot of people who have finished their frame and are stuck on that aspect of it right now. And
well,
there
I
are
got
many
that, and I'm
Cs that,
stuck.
yeah,
I'm stuck on every other aspect.
yeah.
Of
Well, you're
it,
doing a
but
hard thing too. The adding and the minting is really difficult, and yeah.
I haven't. Yeah. So, by the way, Prof, I created a like a simple frame. You saw,
what
like,
was it?
it's a
Which
free
one was it?
compliment. The free
Oh,
compliment.
the free compliment one. Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wanted to add on-chain element to it. It's like, well, what would you do? And it's like, okay, well, here's a free compliment, but wouldn't it be fun to send a compliment to someone's wallet? Like, oh, you like
Right.
send it to a
Mint it
friend,
and send it to them.
mint it
Yeah.
and send it. So Caster says, oh, that's so easy. Here's a, I'm like, okay, I'm sure it's easy, but I can't even approach how to do it. So I'm like, I need to find like I need like maybe 2 days of like solid time. And then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to figure it out. And then
Tell me how you learn best. Do you learn best by reading or by watching or by doing it yourself or?
No, just like tutorial doing. Like I need solid time to just do it.
Do you watch will you watch a video and do like pause and do or something like that, or read and do?
I tend to read and do,
Okay.
but I don't want to sit and read for like I don't want to know how to do it. I don't want the theory. I just want to build it, and as I go, like learn as I go.
Right.
So
I have a video on this already, so I'll just do a technical write-up for you, or have an LLM do it for you.
I cannot have you do that because
No,
I'm
it's
not
super easy.
I cannot. I'm not the type of person who can accept any help like that. It just feels like
she's an Enneagram, whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever that
dealing
is.
with this with Keckers too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'll do it on my own. Just give me a little, point me in the direction. So, like with my bot, shout out Entropy Bender. I got on the phone. He was like, "I'll help you," and I got on the phone with him, and he was like, "High level, do this," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm not going to bother you ever again. I will do it. Me and my co-pilot will figure it out. I just need like the direction."
I will provide that level of direction for you if you're comfortable receiving that. I will provide that level of direction.
Speaking of, this is very cool to see. Hi, my goal for this video is to show that anyone who knows basic HTML, CSS can make a frame. I don't really believe that anymore, but maybe. So
it was so much harder than I thought. It's a 72-minute video.
Yeah.
That's I think helpful for folks to know who maybe don't have a coding background at all, to be like, okay, this is harder than you think, so be aware.
Yeah. But I think it's also like what I love about frames is I learned to program on MySpace. That was like the first time I ever made like HTML and CSS and stuff. And I was like, this is so much fun. And the frames barrier to entry is low enough that anyone who's interested can do that, and you immediately get adoption and people start using it. So it's kind of like an addictive feeling. So I really am incentivized to get like people who don't think they know how to program to try making at least some very basic, simple ones just to get the reps in.
And I think for those who do have like some kind of programming background, yes, they should be able to do this, but it might be harder than they think. So appreciate that you're building in public, that you're sharing your experience, because I think that's going to lead to other people taking some chances and risks and playing around with it that maybe wouldn't. So
yeah, that video you just
I think
showed
it's great.
was
Yeah.
that video you just showed was Kicker's idea, and she tried recording it, and she struggled on so many things, and then she was like, "This sucks. I can't let people see that I'm not as smart as they think I am." And I was like, "Don't worry, I'll do it, and I will let them see that I'm not as smart as they think I am because I have that privilege." Yeah.
Keckers, it's fine. It's fine to show the flaws. It's all good.
Yeah.
We love you anyway. But I think that's just fantastic. I love, and to me, that's one of the things that I love most about Farcaster is people sharing what they're building in public and doing the shitty version and doing and showing the mistakes and all those things. And that's sort of how we built this, is by, doing the shitty version first and keep going and keep going. And apparently we still are. Is that correct? Still, Adrian, or we moved?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking, Adrian.
This is shitty episode 223. But guess what? We've done 223. Like,
no, it's awesome.
Here.
Yeah.
We only have to get to 10,000 and we'll be experts. No problem.
We should add a frame for this. I was literally right before you hopped me on, I was going through the StreamYard API. There are ways of making a frame so you could do direct RTMP live casting inside of Warpcast. So we should definitely talk about that. Yeah.
So there is a way we could do it with stream.tv. Here's the issue. And here's why we haven't done some of that, is that we don't want to sort of split up our chat. So what we really want is to be able to put the YouTube live stream into a frame, which we know can be done. Yeah. It can be done because you can do it with Paragraph, but you'd have to like relaunch a new Paragraph every day and all that stuff. So we need some way to do it that isn't too cumbersome. But
yeah, that makes sense.
That'd be what I would love to see, so that people are still kind of in the same place. And it just creates a better conversation and better community. So that's been our thing we've been trying to fully figure out, but we'll get there. It'll happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But it's definitely like when we share our newsletter every week in the Paragraph format, like we go into Paragraph, put it all in, and I drop all the links to the videos, and you can watch the video right in the frame. So and I didn't experiment with putting the live in, but it was like, okay, this isn't sustainable. I can't do this every day, but I tried it and I was like, oh, it does work.
It does work.
You can see the live in the frame, but it's like, we need something that's easy. Like it's, a couple clicks and we go kind of thing. But yeah, we'll get there. But it's definitely, we're getting close to a lot of cool things. The other thing people have been asking for is live audio, on Farcaster. So, and I know that the Farcaster team has been talking about that and trying to figure out something native and all that.
Yeah, I actually have a frame for that already. I didn't launch it, but that was one of the first prototypes that I made. I called it Fariscope, like Periscope, but Farcaster. Yeah, just because I was interested in seeing if WebRTC worked in a frame. So I built a little video and audio chat room in a frame, and it works pretty well. But it's the idea of moderating it and maintaining it and all of that stuff is a little not super exciting for me. But it all works, and you could do that all in a frame right now, which is really
cool.
fun.
That's very cool. Well, maybe you could just let the Farcaster team know, and if they want to take it over, that might be the thing to do.
Yeah, but Twitter just disabled theirs yesterday, so it's good timing for it. They just shut down voice notes yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But they still have spaces, so it's still, is that?
Yeah, but you can't post audio on your feed anymore.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. That's interesting. But you can still post video. That's interesting. So they must have just pivoted. It might be a similar thing. They don't want to maintain it.
Yeah.
Because people aren't using it as much.
Or it was the reason they crashed. I mean, we'll never know.
It could be.
Oh.
That's a good point. Yeah, the timing's interesting.
We didn't talk about that. We didn't cover that, the Twitter down.
That was, it happened Monday.
It was after Monday.
Yeah, it was after our show Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twitter went down. And that's why we saw this influx of a whole bunch of people, especially who were playing Crypto the Game, sliding on over to Farcaster again. They're like, hi, I'm back. We're like, great. hi, we're still here.
That was cool to see. That was really cool to see the bump in
fun.
engagement. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. But it was kind of like, it was funny. Like, hey, we never left. Stick around this time. after Twitter comes back, we'd love to have you here. Yeah, exactly, Scott. Get him. Exactly.
No,
GM.
that's GM.
That's GM. I thought I said get him. That's funny. All right. So I love what you've been building. Adrian, what other questions do you have? Like, I'm sure you have a whole bunch more that I hadn't even thought of.
Of course, I have my lightning round question.
Oh, but hold on. Look at this. By the way, yeah. How is this going?
It's going okay. I had to switch it over to a monthly model where it's now happening for every month of the year at a time. Just because getting to 157 million did work, but it was 24 terabytes of data, which isn't helpful to anyone because no one will be able to pull that in and use it. So yeah, based on recommendations that some other Farcaster users gave me, I am now making it so you can download it for January 2024 or December 2023, whatever, so you can go and actually do them. But the really interesting thing about this one was that it brought a lot of people out on the weeds who were also working on similar projects, and they were telling me about how they were doing it, and I'm like, why is yours not open source? Like, why are you not sharing this stuff with the world? What are you doing with them? And then most of the times they were like, I do nothing with it right now. And I'm like, give it to people. Let them use it. Like, people have ideas for it to do stuff. Yeah. That's one of, I believe in open source software very, very strongly.
We need to get, and I don't know how, but we need to get some folks who are open sourcing things some support there, because I'm sure there's a cost involved in this. So we need to figure that out. That could be a good thing for Purple to do, or Scout Game. Yeah.
Do you know about Scout Game?
Nope.
It's a new,
let me see if I can find it real quick.
Product. Chris Corella. I don't know if you've run into Chris Corella yet. He's an artist and founder of Charmverse and Purple.
And Purple. Purple DAO.
But his new project or app is called Scout Game, and it's almost like it's like gaming open source development, and you can kind of like you can kind of like bet on them, and they can like subscribe for bounties. It's like a way to kind of pay open source developers in like a gamified way.
Oh, that's really cool. I actually got in an argument with Kickers about this. I have like a moral quandary against accepting money when it comes to open source development. I do it for fun and for love, and then the second any money gets involved to it, I worked at Stack Overflow for a very, very long time, and one of the things that the VP of community at Stack Overflow taught me is I asked them why we didn't pay the moderators. We sent them hats and we sent them tote bags and stuff and donated to charity in their name, and I was like, why don't we just give them like $1,000 a year or something? And he pointed out that these are all professional programmers, and the second you give them money, they start comparing it to what their hourly rate at work is, and then they're like, I'm wasting my time doing this if this is how much it's 30 cents an hour or something. And then that was like a aha moment for me, and I'm kind of in the same boat myself too. It's like I'm doing stuff because I really enjoy it, and then the second it was the same way I felt about the Frames rewards stuff. It's like the second I'm like, oh, I made $300 for this, that's really cool, but that's like 2 hours of work that I could have done instead, and it's really hard to make that comparison.
That's so interesting, and I've not heard it say, but it somehow cheapens the work.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah, you've seen the what is it, the meme or that cartoon of like the open source, that library that's holding up the entire world's infrastructure.
This from Dwoofy. I was all gassed up to disagree, but no notes. Go off, jc4p.
Yeah, by the way, that's kind of how I felt. And Prof, that's how I felt when I got an award for like kind of the women's empowerment. It's like, I don't want it.
Yeah, I would spend that on shoes though. I would spend that on shoes if I were you.
So you disagree with my assessment there.
Anyway, that's really interesting.
But I think there's something though to covering cost for folks who are open sourcing something for others to use.
Yeah.
So even if it doesn't go beyond that, like to me, there's something to that I think is necessary. So that the other thing is, so looking at it from a different perspective, what if we don't want you to stop supporting that? And then you have an incentive to at least like let it be if your costs are being covered. that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, one thing
I don't
that I
know.
really, I legitimately got in like a 4 hour long argument with Keckers about the frames leaderboard thing. Cause I was like, they announced it and I was like, I really hope I can opt out. And she was like, why would you want to opt out? They're rewarding you for doing what you're already doing. And then we went back and forth the entire day. But one of the things that's been good for that for me now is when I am helping people making on their own frames, it's very easy to be like, hey, you should add in minting functionality because the rewards includes that. And it's really nice to see other people make their own frames and then hopefully they get rewarded for it and they make some money for it. But it's like I have my own company,
Yeah.
like I have my own way of making money and it works well for me. And I don't like it would be very different if I didn't have that. I would love to optimize that and make stuff every day and stuff. But then on the flip side, like I would legitimately make an AI agent that makes a BuzzFeed quiz frame every single day. And then to try to like game the leaderboard and stuff. And that's also like not as fun.
Yeah.
So
We don't
yeah.
want that. Yeah. Yeah. But I love that but I think there's also something to the rewards being put back into the ecosystem. And that's what a lot of people are doing. I know that's something what I'm doing and all that. So I think there's that aspect of it too, that kind of keeps this sort of new economy just sort of rolling. But I love your approach. It's amazing. That's amazing. Because we've been wondering
I
about
drank
you,
the
like,
Kool-Aid.
why
Yeah.
are you doing the frames every day? It's like,
Yeah, no, I drank the Kool-Aid fully. I owe my career to open source software, so I love open source software, and I love helping other people do it.
So you should definitely chat with Chris Corella, even if you don't want to participate as, in the game, you might be able to add some support there or something.
Yeah,
There
absolutely.
might be something you could do there. Because I think that Scout Game is a nice approach, especially if you think about it from like the junior dev perspective of rewarding them who maybe are very new in their career, and you might find some, really cool devs to work with or something like that.
Yeah,
So I think there's
absolutely.
something there.
The other thing
sure.
I think is, thank you. The other thing is
jc4p. I don't know. K4p.
That sounds like Keckers for president. No, the other part of that too is like the programming aspect of it is really fun. But what I'm really incentivized on helping a lot of people do is just trying to launch a frame, because there are so many. Like Keckers finished a new frame 3 days ago, and she spent the last 3 days trying to launch it, and all of the stuff of getting Vercel set up, all of the stuff of getting the CNAME set up, all of the stuff of getting the embedding set up. It's all, especially for your first time, it's really daunting. There are some people that I'm helping make frames who are working on some absolutely amazing, gorgeous things. But I wish I could just tell them, like, I don't want to dishearten them. I wish I could be like, make something much simpler as your first one. Like, get it out of the door, feel how difficult it is and what it's like, go through getting those repetitions in, and then work on what you actually want to work on.
What is that?
Wait, are
that phrase? Ain't nobody want to lift no heavy weights.
Lift heavy weights. Yeah.
Wait, but just they're working on something beautiful, but it hasn't actually shipped yet. So they're
yes.
Yeah.
They need to just get it out.
My shout out, just very DevOps coded, and small batch cycle and iteration.
Yeah, granted, I probably go the other side of it, and I release stuff way too early a lot of the times. But like, yeah, Keckers was working on optimizing her homepage for desktop, and I was like, launch your frame.
Oh, that's interesting.
Earlier.
Yeah, just do it. Just put it out there. And then, then you can just iterate.
Yeah, and see if people like it.
Yeah. See if people like it. See if people use it.
Yeah, the Match 3 game I made had way many more people using it than I expected. So now I'm actually working on redoing it into 3D and adding audio in it. And then the end result goal is hopefully by the beginning of April, I can actually have like monthly tournaments where it's going to be like a $1 NFT buy-in, and then the NFT live updates with your high score and stuff. Like for stuff that people really, really do enjoy, like I fully want to add in all the features and all the stuff into it. Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense, because then you're not spending time on something, making it all pretty and beautiful, and nobody's using it. So yeah, this is the one you're talking about. Super fun. Very simple. Loved it. Go check it out. Meme coin match, really fun.
Yeah. My mom pointed out this was also the very first paid programming job I had, was working on a Bejeweled clone on MySpace and Facebook. So she says it's like a return back to form, and I'm just doing what I enjoyed doing at the beginning of my career.
I love it when you talk about that, because I feel like those are the vibes right now, is like with all these frames, with all this, open ability to create your own thing, that you are getting those very early Facebook vibes, very early MySpace vibes, where people could contribute and have fun doing it. And then from that came some big things like, with Farmville turning into Zynga, whatever, all those like sort of things that popped off. And you can kind of see that happening right now with things like Farcade and all these different games. And like they're starting to blow up. So I think it's what makes the space fun, almost like what do you call it, Adrian? A scenius, if you will.
Yes, Caster, do you know the term scenius?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Go
coined
ahead.
By Brian. It was coined by Brian Eno, who do you know who Brian Eno is?
Yep.
Okay. To describe collective genius. So the idea that genius comes out of a scene, loosely organized people, common goals, like lots of, friendly competition, shared practices. So, novel things get accelerated quickly. Tools are shared. You're allowed to like fuck up and fail gracefully within a scene, and like
others will lift you up.
Community,
celebrating wins of others, like all that kind of stuff. Feeling apart, like others are winning, you're winning too.
Like
the scene wins.
When you come in and you're building all these frames, I'm like, oh, we all win. It's like Farcaster's better, and we take it's like shared success. So
scenius is the magic word to get Adrian's happy face.
Love that.
That's exactly it.
On the OG MySpace vibes too, the other thing that I really like about Farcaster is I worked on a bunch of social networks. Like in the 2010s, the biggest thing was gamified social networks, and I worked on like 4 different ones of them. And we always had an issue trying to get access to like, I worked on a fitness social network, and we wanted to give people the ability to share to their close friends on Facebook only, because it's about weight loss journey and stuff. So that's kind of vulnerable. But getting the idea of who are your close friends on Facebook, all of that information was locked in the walled garden of Facebook. Versus on Farcaster, I can just download everyone's history and be like, who are the people you're talking to the most? Oh, here's all the circles. And just the openness of that chain is one of the things that I really like.
Yeah, so Dan, Dan has really talked about we have to grow through crypto. It's like there's so much, especially there's a lot of anti-crypto sentiment so it's just kind of like get the crypto people over, build. I've
get the gamer people over
so much, right? But it's like get the gamers, but what about open source? And the tinkerers and people who want to build.
There's also so much low-hanging fruit. Like much low-hanging fruit. The thing that I made to get data out of a hub was in the hub mono repo from the Farcaster stream, there is a proof of concept of how to extract information out of a hub, but it's the most like basic way of doing it that if you were going to do a proof of concept, you were doing it. And then I spent like a day thinking about it, and then mine ended up being like 55 times faster. And that is a great feeling, but it's also just because it's fertile ground and there's low hanging fruit, and someone just going through the steps piece by piece is able to make something that really helps the community and is impressive, which in a lot of worlds where everyone else is already doing everything, it's a lot harder to just do a first pass and be like, wow, this ended up working really well. So I do really love the fact that a lot of stuff is available for me to just put a little bit of thought into, and then people get really impressed.
Awesome. I love this. All right, Adrian, you want to hit him with some lightning questions? I feel there's going to be a frame eventually of this, but go ahead.
Oh, we should.
We should do that.
Can I give you some lightning round questions?
Please.
Okay.
He seems like the perfect person for lightning round questions. Yes, honestly.
And we'll turn this into a frame. The only rule is you're not allowed to think.
Totally.
Okay. All right. So on Farcaster, we talk a lot about the URL to IRL pipeline. When and how did you make your first internet friend?
It was actually opposite. I used to switch schools all the time because my mom was a teacher, and she would always get new jobs and move to different school districts and stuff. And when I started my high school, the very first year of high school, I didn't have any friends in school until I realized that one of the guys in my gym class was someone that I'd been playing Counter-Strike with for years.
Oh, wow.
So I suddenly went from not having any friends to being like, hey, we play CS Assault together all the time. And then he introduced me to all of his other friends, and now I'm going to Vegas with some of those guys next weekend, so it was a very I was doing this thing, I was playing video games, and then it turned out that some of them were in my real life and I could actually do them.
That's cool.
Crazy.
That's really cool. And it's cool that you're still friends with them. I love that.
I don't lose friends. Yeah, that is.
I love that.
They come hard, so I don't lose them.
I've got a few like that too. I got a bunch, and we do a trip every year. And I've known.
Do you make new friends?
12. Yeah,
I try to.
That's not a lightning round question. This is my fault. I always I know I'm supposed to go fast. I'm like, oh, I just always find like, okay.
I made one new friend this year. But it was the same thing. It was someone that I've been in a Star Trek group chat with for years, and then we realized we live near each other, and it's like, let's go see a movie.
That's cool.
All right, what's your favorite channel on Farcaster?
Lamb Chop. That's a wild card.
Really?
One. But yes, there's a lot I would post on Lamb Chop if I didn't have the reputation of a programmer and stuff. I just texted the kickers, and I'm like, this would go hard on Lamb Chop, and it's just like, yeah, it would.
All right, Lamb Chop with the shout out. Nice.
Shout out. We have a vibe check episode with Lamb Chop.
Doofy, if you've got that link, let's drop it.
Yeah.
If you got it handy. So Doofy did an interview with Lamb Chop.
Morning person or night owl?
I used to be a night owl. I have transitioned myself into a morning person, especially since I moved to the West Coast. I slowly found out that a lot of my night owl aspects were actually subtle bouts of mania. And then once I realized that, and I realized that I was getting really upset when the sun came up in the morning, I was like, that's not the relationship I want to have with the world.
Love that.
Favorite holiday?
Ooh, Thanksgiving. My family all lives in LA, and we do like a big Friendsgiving, and then we do Thanksgiving the week after, and it's where we get to like see everyone and everything, and we all bring our friends, and like it's just nice to have that.
It was always my favorite for many years. Same reason.
What is the next country you want to visit?
My mom hates this. I deeply want to visit Iraq. I just had a friend who's a photographer go on a tour of a new photo book that he's making, and he had a lot of fun and stuff. But I'm from Iran, and I can't go back to Iran just because there's a lot of like, I would get drafted into the military most likely unless I bribe someone, and my uncle's like, just bribe the guy at the airport, and I'm like, that's horrifying to me. I need written instructions for how to do that. That's terrifying. But Iraq has a lot of really, really cool old Muslim sites, and that's the culture that I grew up in, was a lot of that Islam, and being able to actually go and see like the tomb of Imam Ali or something is really, really interesting to me. But anytime I talk to my mom about it, she's like, you're going to go, you're going to get kidnapped, and everyone's going to be like, why the hell did he do that? But yeah, that would definitely be what I would like to do.
I am 100% on board with your mom on this one. But also I get the desire to do that.
There's some really cool stuff. And like, I understand that it's not magic, but there's some really, really cool stuff. Yeah.
Completionist, yes or no?
No. I've never finished a video game. My 5-year-old nephew has finished more video games than I have.
Okay.
That's funny.
Are you a to-do list? Like, do you have to get through the bottom of your email or anything?
No.
Love this guy.
I just get pulled in directions. I just do whatever people want from me, and whoever I talk to last is whatever I'm focusing on.
Adrian's the completionist. I am not. And right now, my DMs from her are, have you done your tax stuff yet?
Oh, yeah, that's really rough. Yeah, so yeah, I have a best friend who got married to an accountant. So I have that one.
A little working in public. We have to file our corporate forms by March 15th.
Yep. On it.
Get on that. Get on that. Okay.
Right after
back to Kazra. Kazra, if you were to write a book, what would it be about?
It would be a cookbook.
Oh, wow.
I get fixated on a lot of different stuff. I make the best pizza that you could possibly imagine. In 2017, I made my own pizza oven and almost burned down my house, but I did make a good pizza oven. I make incredibly good ice cream. I get really, really into different treats for like 3 months, and then figure out every single thing about them, and then move on to something else. So I would love to share that information with other people.
That is really cool.
That is so cool. By the way, we have the coolest people on Farcaster.
We do.
Like, just everyone's so interesting. When I try to explain why I'm here, I'm like, because people are interesting. By the way, I know this is lightning round, but I'm on an aside. SiennaCooks.eth is on Farcaster. She's my daughter. She's 16, 16. And she's obsessed. She gets obsessed with cooking and foods, but it's like one thing super, super into, and then it's like never again.
That happened to me with macarons. At Stack Overflow, we had chefs working at the company, and I made macarons and I took them in, and they were like, I had to do like years of training to make these. How did you make these? And I was like, I'm never going to make them again.
Right. But then it's like, these people are so interesting. They're so intrinsically motivated. Yeah. You know, these people, these interesting, not like I'm very extrinsically motivated.
Yeah, you're interesting as well.
Yes. I mean, I'm weird. I'm not interesting. Okay. Football or soccer?
Football.
Camping or hotel?
Camping? I go camping every year. I go camping more often than I stay in hotels. So I'm going to say camping by default.
Ooh. Optimist or pessimist?
Optimist, 100%. I learned that, though. There's a great book called Learned Optimism that I use to transition how I felt about that.
Oh, I want that book.
It's by Martin Siegelman. He was the head of the APA, but when he first started on his concepts, everyone thought he was crazy because they were like, what do you mean you can learn optimism? He also gave dogs depression accidentally during his work at Cornell, but then he ended up becoming the what everyone else was doing.
Wow. Okay. Because I'm an internal optimist, but I'm finding when I talk to pessimists, just telling them to be optimistic doesn't work.
Doesn't really work. Yeah. No, so he has he has a checklist you can go through. Yeah. No, he has stuff about if you're an optimist or pessimist about finality, or like if something goes wrong, do you say I suck, or do you say I just made the wrong decisions that day? And there's a lot of it's called Learned Optimism. It's one of my favorite books.
Reminds me also of like the Carol Dweck mindset, growth mindset versus growth
fixed
stuff.
Yeah.
This is the worst lightning round ever because we're just too.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we're doing.
No, it's not you. It's me.
Yeah,
it's me.
We're very interested in what you're answering, so it's distracting.
Yeah, you're triggering
in a good way. In a good way. Yeah.
Okay. Do you eat a kiwi with the skin on or off?
Off. Do people eat it with the skin on?
Yes. It's a Farcaster thing.
Okay.
It's one of the first Farcaster memes.
Okay.
Ask Heckers about it.
Oh, well. If she finishes her frame, maybe.
And apparently Vitalis will eat an orange with the skin on, so that
horrifying.
Yeah, is horrifying. Yes, Woofy, the correct reaction. Absolutely.
Okay, last one. What is the last thing you bought with crypto?
Ooh.
Have you bought anything with crypto?
It might have been drugs like 10 years ago, to be 100% honest with you. Like it might have been something on the Silk Road a very long time ago.
Silk Road making its comeback.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. It's even worse than that, though. I gamble online using Ethereum. So I do a lot of prop bets. It's illegal in California, so I have to do it using cryptocurrency. And I do that every basketball season and every football season. Yeah.
Have you heard of Bracket?
No.
And Bracky? /Bracket game. Go check it out. Or at Bracky, BRACKY. We have our own.
Okay, that might awaken something in me.
Yeah, maybe you should.
I might not want, but yeah.
Maybe or not.
Do you like college basketball?
No, I like March Madness just because I like gambling. I'm kind of thinking I'll make a March Madness bracket frame, maybe, if I go around to it.
Bracket.
Okay.
There's going to be a big bracket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it'll be very social, and it's going to start
I'll check that out.
week,
yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun.
And we will be using crypto.
Yeah.
By the way, I feel like there's one of 5 ways everyone gets onboarded to crypto, and one is buying drugs 10 years ago.
Yep.
Absolutely. Mine was crypto kitties, but that's I am not the norm.
That was really good. That was really good.
Not the norm at all. But yeah, I think more often than not, your way was the way.
I was going on local Bitcoins. I was meeting up with guys in person because I didn't want it to be connected to my name. Yeah, it felt cool.
It felt cool. That's so funny. All right. Adrian, anything else before we wrap? We've been chatting for a while. I could chat for like another agree Duofi. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. We love talking to you, and we love
this is so
watching
fun.
You build. And
thank you. Well, I love listening to the show.
Farcaster is better.
Also, Adrian,
like you,
the project manager, asking Prof the status of her action items live on air. Accurate.
Accurate.
She's been asking me for months.
I'm a completionist and a rule follower, so I would like to the IRS.
It's coming up.
I am a procrastinator of things I don't want to do.
To be fair, that's why I make frames, is because I'm procrastinating stuff I don't want to do.
This is a fatal flaw of mine. I get it. Like, but I'm going to change, Adrian. I'm going to get it better.
You have 3 days. We all believe
I have 3 days.
Yep. And then Adrian, I will work on making a very concise and not over educational thing of how to do the minting.
Okay.
I have a video that's like an hour and a half long, but I don't want
to do a pair program live stream.
That'd be really fun. I would love to do that. I've been trying to get Kickers to do those with me, but she doesn't want people to see her struggle.
And then we could do
Adrian's fine with that.
Pair program, and I don't need it all done, but even
struggling on camera for a year and a half.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, and then just kind of point me in just the architecture.
I would love to do
components.
that. Absolutely, I would love to do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is cool.
I would love that.
Okay, anytime next week, just DC me and we'll set something up. Yeah.
All right.
Amazing.
Actually, and honestly, I am a recovering perfectionist, and doing live streams just has been the best therapy ever. So thank you, Prof, for
winging it. Just winging it sometimes is a good thing.
You need to push.
Comfort zones. Yeah.
Fall on your face a million times.
Yeah, exactly.
In front of people, it's like, oh,
in front of people. Yeah.
I can be wrong.
Yes, it's okay to be wrong. Live stream is so much better than edited stuff. Come on now. We love you all. All right. We've got to call it. We've been here for almost an hour and a half. That's crazy, but this has been such a good conversation, and we had a lot of stuff to jump into. And also, later today, noon, the next Crypto the Game challenge will drop. So Adrian and I will be playing. And if it's a video game, I'll be playing poorly. Sorry, Orange Team, but I will be there cheering you on. And I just
realized, Prop, I scheduled us a work meeting. I scheduled us a work meeting at noon, and I feel like you're going to want to cancel that.
Can we move it?
Yeah.
We may have to move it.
We may
have to move it.
We're friends.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm sorry. Anchal. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to make an adjustment there. There's no way. There's no way. All right, everyone. We will be back Friday a little later time. We're gonna be on at 11:30. We're gonna be here with Drew Hanlon, the NBA skills player who is now gracing our timeline. And hopefully we're trying to get him more active on Farcaster. But he'll be with us, as well as a couple of people from Nouns Cares, Frankie and Will, talking about a prop they're working on. Drew is doing some work with Coinbase and as well as Nouns, and that's going to be really interesting. So excited to chat with him. And then we have poker Friday evening. So if you want to play poker, folks, hit me up. Let me know. We got some spaces. So, and with that, my friends, we're going to call it. So everybody, bye-bye.